It's not possible for us to take care of daycare, Medicaid, Medicare, all these individual things. They can do it on a state basis. You can't do it on a federal. We have to take care of one thing, military protection.
Oh yeah, you heard that correctly. Your tax dollars shouldn't go toward making your life better in government programs that you fund. No, don't expect that. Your tax dollars should just fully be used for military activity that oftentimes is carried out on behalf of a foreign country. That was the president of the United States telling the American people that they can F off. Are we winning yet? So Trump does want to spend this money on military and wars, which is why he has asked Congress to allocate more than they typically allocate for defense spending for the Pentagon. Usually it's around $1 trillion. Now he wants $1.5 trillion. You guys feel good about the fact that we live in a military state, I guess, where this is theft of our resources. Okay, this is the government stealing from the American people on behalf of a foreign country to fight their wars. That's what's going on here. But we should talk about how much economic pain the American people are in for, how our government has no intention of helping us as that economic pain absolutely destroys our lives. And make no mistake about it, this now world war that we're engaged in is considered a world war because the entire globe is impacted by the fact that the United States was stupid enough to believe Israel and engage in a war against Iran on their behalf. So let's get to the details of that economic pain, shall we? Because it's gonna get worse, but let's talk about where we are right now. Don't expect the government to help you. So comments from US President Donald Trump in a Wednesday evening national address warned of further military aggression against Iran in the next 2 to 3 weeks, dampening hopes for an imminent de-escalation in the conflict and driving oil prices up more than 13%. Higher oil prices means inflation everywhere, in every sector, including food, by the way. I didn't even know myself that 1/3 of the world's fertilizer comes from the Middle East and is transported through the Strait of Hormuz. So there is going to be an increase in global hunger as a result of this war. Prices at the grocery store gonna be a lot higher. Price that you pay at the pump, it's already a lot higher. It's gonna get worse, definitely gonna get worse. And so Trump basically said that the war will continue, which is sure to damage more oil and gas infrastructure. Let's take a look.
We're going to hit them extremely hard over the next 2 to 3 weeks. We're going to bring them back to the Stone Ages where they belong.
Now, prices eased a tiny bit following reports that Iran is working with Oman to draft protocols for monitoring transit through the Strait of Hormuz. Look, I'm just gonna keep it 100 with especially our European allies. Okay, I would personally reach out to Iran and say, okay, let's make a deal. It's distancing ourselves from the United States, let's make a deal, please. We'd like our tankers to pass through without getting attacked. What is the toll? What would you like us to pay? We need to increase the energy supply. So if we can do that by just going around the United States, which is a belligerent, bloodthirsty country, and I'm talking about our government, not the people, just cut the US out and immediately go to Iran and see if you can work out a deal, because the US isn't gonna help you. In fact, Trump said he's not gonna help you. Trump literally told our NATO allies, oh, you want the oil, go get it yourselves. Okay, great, then go get it yourselves. Obviously, don't exacerbate war. Only idiots would do that. And unfortunately, our government is full to the brim with idiots. Our Secretary of War is a literal wife-abusing alcoholic who was a weekend anchor on a freaking cable network that's viewed by boomers in their 70s and 80s. So yeah, I would go around the United States and I would try to find a way to negotiate. I would, consider diplomacy in this situation, wherever you can consider it. So prices eased a tiny bit after Iran started working with Oman over some sort of protocol situation. A translation of IRNA's report said that tanker traffic in the key shipping channel, meaning the Strait of Hormuz, could resume if supervised and coordinated by the two countries, according to Kazem Garibaldadi, that's Iran's deputy foreign minister of legal and international affairs. US West Texas Intermediate crude futures for May were up 10%. So it went from 13% to 10% at $110.22 a barrel as of 11:33 a.m. Eastern time today. Giles Alston, who happens to be a political risk analyst over at Oxford Analytica, spoke to CNBC about all of this, and here's what Giles had to say. It's becoming increasingly clear that the US position on what you do to get your oil out of and through the Straits of Hormuz is now something which Washington has largely washed its hands of. This is now something for those who take oil through the strait to sort out for themselves. Yeah, so even this fancy schmancy political risk analyst agrees with me. Yeah, you gotta go around the United States and just go straight to Iran and see if you can negotiate some sort of deal. That's what our allies, our supposed allies, this is how we treat our allies, are supposed to do. Nonetheless, Trump refuses to take any responsibility for any of his screw ups. Everyone knew that Iran was going to close the Strait of Hormuz as the only real leverage they have. That's where their power lies. And that's exactly what they did. And nonetheless, Trump is playing stupid about it. Take a look.
Many Americans have been concerned to see the recent rise in gasoline prices here at home. This short-term increase has been entirely the result of the Iranian regime launching deranged terror attacks against commercial oil tankers in neighboring countries that have nothing to do with the conflict. This is yet more proof that Iran can never be trusted with nuclear weapons. They will use them, and they will use them quickly.
And on top of that, he's delusional to boot.
In 1 year, we've taken a dead and crippled country. I hate to say that, but we were a dead and crippled country after the last administration and made it the hottest country anywhere in the world by far, with no inflation, record-setting investments coming into the United States, over $18 trillion, and the highest stock market ever, with 53 all-time record highs in just 1 year. It all positioned us to get rid of a cancer that has long simmered. It's known as the nuclear Iran, and they didn't know what was coming. They've never imagined it.
The price of oil per barrel was $73 prior to this stupid war that we got dragged into. It is now $110 a barrel. And why don't we take a look at the performance of the S&P 500 year to date. Wow, a lot of red there. Fascinating. Down 6.65% year to date. I guess we're winning too hard. So tired of winning. I'd like to lose. If this is what winning looks like, I'd love to lose. It'd be great if we could lose Trump. Anyway, we gotta take a break. No, one other thing. Oracle just announced that they're laying off 30,000 workers. You wanna know how they let their workers know that they're being laid off? An early morning email, no call. People who had worked for Oracle for 20 years got an email letting them know you're done. People are gonna get mad at me for, supposedly doing a meme of that disgusting Larry Ellison. He is the worst of us, absolute scum. And the fact that all of the commentary about me covering a story having to do with him wanting to surveil all of us had to do with like, she did a gesture that looks like a meme that's anti-Semitic. You're gonna focus on that, but you're not gonna focus on the fact that that piece of crap wants to surveil every single person with his technology. He wants us to live in effectively a surveillance police state. This is how he treats his workers. If you were far more concerned with my gesture, you're also scum.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.